You are listening to Ask a Butch. I am Sheena and I wanted to explore some of the mysteries, myths and stereotypes around butch women, and see what really resides in a butch woman's heart. You know, and all that flannel. What I have found is that often misconceptions will lead to hatred or fear, and unfortunately butch women often bear the brunt of that. So let's break the cycle here. Joining me today are Lise and Amy, both women who identify as butch, and they're going to help us understand things a little bit. Today we're asking the question, do butch women all pack a strap-on? Okay, Lise, so tell us.
What, in their luggage? What? Well, never in my carry-on. I'm going to take the strap-on somewhere. It's going to go in my checked luggage.
Because you definitely don't want the embarrassment of having your checked bag opened up at the security checkpoint and everything taken out and held up and said, "What's this?"
And if asked, the answer is dog toy. Now you know. This message brought to you by.
Is that why it has teeth marks? Come on.
Yes, sure.
And just as an aside, as a tip, ladies, remove the batteries from anything that can turn on.
Oh, yeah. Especially lithium ion. You don't need those to go poof in the cargo hold while you're at 30,000 feet.
And they say that, you know, if it turns on, it is they do have to open it up and check it to make sure it's nothing dangerous.
So, Sheena, I have a feeling that this maybe wasn't the discussion you were anticipating?
Not from the look on her face, no.
Okay, so I'm just going to take that as a yes.
Well, for me, I mean, what do they mean by packing? Are you saying, like, do butch women, like, wear one constantly, like some trans men or people who are transitioning will, or do we just like to use them?
I suspect the question is, do butches use strap-ons? Because I think this is a continuation on the man theme.
Ah.
All right.
Okay, well, I will say that the terminology from when I was coming out was that a butch who packs is a butch who wears their strap-on out in public.
I assume under their clothes.
Well, yes. Over your clothes, you get too many propositions.
Of a kind you probably don't want. And there are strap-ons that are made specifically for packing under your clothes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. They are. They're basically soft. They're so that it lays correctly, and you don't look like you're walking around with a
boner.
Thank you. Thank you for being the one who said it.
Boner, boner, boner.
So what's the point then?
A couple of things. I mean, there are sort of hybrid strap-ons that you could have sex with. I think The Night Off deals with one of those, doesn't it? By Megan O'Brien. Mm-hmm.
Also, the Radcliffe's The Justice series. Dell wears one.
And I think there, for some women, it's just more about, you know, a feeling of possibly power or, you know, I mean, the same way I like to wear men's pants.
I've heard of it in several people who were, I would say, in that area between butch and trans. That they liked to wear it out. They like that fantasy, if you will, of, yeah, they're going to have strap-on sex later on that night, so it gets them in the mood all night. There's that type of packing, and then there's just, do all butches use strap-ons when they have sex? Which is, I don't know if that's the same question, or if it's what she really meant with the question, or, you know, if it's just another, you know, side of the question.
And?
I would say even with that question, no, because butches they don't come in one flavor. There's many flavors of butch. So you have butches who like strap-on sex, and you have butches who don't like strap-on sex, and you have butches who want variety in their sexual practices, so they sometimes wear it and they sometimes don't, and they sometimes ask their partner, who actually may be femme, to wear it because, sex is sex and what you like is what you like, and everybody has a chance to switch it up.
Yeah, exactly. That was going to be my point. Was I've run across this idea that you aren't a real butch if you like to receive the strap on.
Take it if you like to take it.
If you're a catcher as opposed to a pitcher, to use the baseball metaphor. And I mean, I think that's crap. There's this idea that butches are all sexual dominants, and that is completely not the case. I'm very much a butch bottom. Do I like to switch it up every now and again? Yes, but I am not going to be the super dominant one in the sack most of the time. And I am still a butch, so
I find what you're saying very interesting because when I was in a relationship, I had relationships with other butches. I tended to be the butch bottom, and when I'm with a femme now, I'm the top. And so it's kind of one of those things where it depends on the two people involved. It depends on what we're interested in that night. But to sit there and say that all of the butches want to be in control, all of the butches want to be the top, just not true. And it leaves out a lot of people, and it can make a butch bottom feel inadequate. It can make them feel like they're not really a butch because they like catching.
And you know what? I mean, we like what we like, right? If we were interested in liking only what we're told we should like, we would be sleeping with men.
Amen. That would just be sad for humanity.
For lesbian humanity, yes.
For the record, Lise, I really like your butch bottom.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, I think you brought up some very valid points. It's also like femmes. Femmes can use strap-ons on each other. Femmes can enjoy both giving and receiving. And being penetrated or not being penetrated does not make you less of a lesbian or less of a woman.
So why would it make you less of a butch?
Exactly.
Absolutely. I think these stereotypes are actually just harmful, especially for people like baby butchers who are coming to terms with their own sexuality, and maybe they like to be bottoms and maybe they like to be in a relationship with another butch, and then they feel like they shouldn't be because there are these stereotypes in the world. It's not healthy. Thank you for listening to Ask a Butch. I'm Sheena and I've been joined today by Lise and Amy. You can find us all online. I will add links to the show notes. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to be part of the conversation, then come join us on the Facebook group, the Lesbian Talk Show chat group. Stop what you're doing right now and rate this podcast on iTunes. Why? Because the more ratings we have, the more listeners will be able to find us. And you can rate every single episode, so please do. That's all for now. Bye!
Just gonna stare at Amy on the screen. Oh God, Amy. You're just gonna get one big one from me.
I actually don't even...